The social media aspects out there that guys have rabbit ears. They hear everything, they read everything. When I played and coached, I didn't watch Sports Center, I didn't watch the news, I didn't watch any of these things and tie myself up with it because most of it's nonsense. But I understand these guys are so sensitive because there's so many media outlets out there. But if I was Nurkic, I would focus on one thing. Try to take whatever you guys did today, whatever mentality you brought to the table today, you're going to have to pack that up and travel with that to Denver. It doesn't matter about Game 4. It doesn't matter what people say about you. What matters is Game 5 because 82.5% of the time, whoever wins that game is going to go on to win the series. And what he has to focus on, Denver is going to have two opportunities if this goes 7 at home to win this. So just focus on the things that you can't control. If you're concerned about what people think of you defensively, do what you did today. Go out in Game 5 and go to Denver and put the clamps down on the Joker like you did today, and that narrative would change. But stop listening to all the outside noise because that's the thing that can tear a team apart, and that's the thing that, personally, that can hurt a player in his upcoming performances.
Let's shift the narrative for a second because there's times where something like this can be said and it can galvanize and maybe bring a team together, maybe a team like the Portland Trail Blazers. Just looking at this and his quote that's going to go viral, people are definitely going to hear this. What happens with this Blazers team? Is there a way that they maybe can turn this into a positive going into Game 5?
Well, I hope that's not something they need as motivation going into Game 5 as an outside source criticizing their team. I think the biggest challenge in any sports is how do you keep the noise from getting into the locker room? The locker room is sacred between the coaches and the players. Their focus should be on the game plan and executing the game plan. What other criticism may or may not come shouldn't be relevant. And so if they need this to propel them into Game 5, then they've got other issues. What they really need to do is take the blueprint of today's game, try and get better, try and find ways to score, being more efficient, and add to whatever adjustment they think Denver is going to make. But keep the outside noise, as Coach Mitchell talked about, away from the locker room. Focus on what you need to do internally, and try and go steal a victory out in Denver.
That blueprint is important. Jay-Z had the Blueprint album. He had the takeover. Nurk getting his takeover on right there, sending shots at Kendrick Perkins. In the meantime, Dame Lillard is at the podium. We definitely need to hear what he has to say.
You should notice as a game changer on defensive end.
Okay. It was a great win for us. I think the way that we won the game, especially just coming out with a lot of energy. We defended. I thought we were aggressive. The ball was moving. And, typically we'll start that way and then we'll have drop-offs. We won't be able to sustain it. And I thought, we did a great job of keeping our focus and sustaining that level defensively, especially to start the third quarter. Going into the half with a 10-point lead, we didn't come out and mess around. And we came out, we picked up, we were physical, we were sharp, paid attention to detail. We locked in on our scouting report. We took the challenge, and that led to a lot of push out, transition. The defense kind of being off balance and having to answer to that, instead of playing against a set defense and taking the ball out the net. We just was able to dominate the third quarter because of what we did defensively. And then, obviously when Nurk is right and he's playing well and he's sharp and finishing and making free throws and having an impact defensively, we're a much better team. And I think, tonight showed that.
Next question is coming from Jason Quick with The Athletic.
Dame, were you aware of Kendrick Perkins' comments and Nurk becoming aware of them before the game?
I don't even know what he said, honestly.
Okay. And then switching gears to Norm, how would you describe his demeanor?
He almost plays in a rage. It was like he's not the most talkative person, and then he gets on the court, and it's like he shows so much emotion and so much passion, and he's on the referees, and he's attacking the rim, and he's flexing and screaming and stuff like that. So just really aggressive and passionate about the game. But then you step off the court, and he's like the most quiet dude in the locker room. So I think that just shows how much he cares about the game and how much he puts into it. He walks around, he has his understand the grind, you know, and that's a guy that worked his ass off to get here. You know, he had to scratch and claw to get to where he is now. You know, he shows that when he gets on the floor.
He mentioned one time earlier this year in the locker room that you remarked about how in his zone he was as he was listening to his music. I think you called him 8 Mile or something. Do you recall that?
Yeah, he had an 8 Mile moment where he just was like, he was zoned in. And I was talking to him and he just wasn't saying nothing. And I was like, "You playing tonight?" And he looked up and we kind of laughed about it. But he was locked in, man, listening to that Nipsey Hussle.
Before moving on to the next question, Norman Powell is available.
That is Dame Lillard. The person he was talking about, the man of the hour, Norman Powell. We will hear from him when we continue right